Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Hope you guys are doing well. This is Noct here, joined by CM Rinku. We're going to be doing our first Shadow Arena Into the Shadows podcast here tonight. Welcome in. I hope you guys are ready. We're going to be talking about a lot of cool things going on, both in the game, in the community. You know, it's going to be a little bit more conversational. It's going to be a little bit more of just the two of us going back and forth and trying to have a conversation about what's going on in the game, what's going on with, you know, our patch notes, what's going on with the new hero, different events that have happened recently, things like that. So I think it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. We're just here to hang out, chat, talk about all the cool stuff in Shadow Arena, and there's a lot to talk about actually, like a lot. So
yeah.
I'm interested in what you guys think and what Noct thinks as well. So.
Absolutely. We're just heading into, literally yesterday was the first day of season 1, beta season part 2, I think it's not season 2, but it's like beta season part 2.
Season 1 round 2, I believe is the official terminology.
Season 1 round 2 started yesterday, so there's like a new ranking system, there's new hero, there's a whole new way to basically be evaluated for our performance in game that we definitely want to talk about. Definitely want to make it known and get it out there, make sure that it's transparent and findable how everything works. It's on the website, but talking it out, I find, at least personally, helps me process things and helps things settle into my head. So I want to make sure that we provide that avenue for other people as well. So first thing we're going to talk about is the new stuff, though. And I think one of the, even aside from the ranking stuff, one of the most hype new things in the game, Rinku, right now is our new hero, Gorgath.
Yeah, the new hero is hype. He's so unique too. He's so different than what I expected him to be. So,
what were you expecting?
So
I anticipate from
Gorgath.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from a CM perspective, you probably knew a little bit ahead of us what was coming, but probably not exact.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
The only thing I knew is that it was Gorgath, and that Gorgath was a wizard. And so I was thinking, what could they do with a wizard? And it has nothing, like, it's almost completely different than the wizard in BDO. So honestly, I had no idea what it was going into it. And like you guys probably saw on the community corner stream, I didn't even see the skill descriptions, or I've never seen like his skills ever until that stream when we went on live when the game was down. So it was a huge shock, but honestly, I'm really happy with what they did. Like they really took a different approach, and I mean, we've seen that with a lot of heroes in Shadow Arena, and like I love that. I love that it's not just like an awakening wizard from BDO. It's like it's its own thing. Kind of feels like a rock bender. I don't know. What do you think?
Right? It's an earthbender. We've got we've got our very own earthbender here in Shadow Arena. And I mean, you did the CM event yesterday where we all got to go in and everybody played Gorgath. I came in second. Yeah. I was beat out by somebody that I didn't know who they were, but I got second.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were gonna take that. I was watching. I was like, oh man, Noct's gonna get it. It was like so close, but yeah.
So close. Dang. So close. Oh, I get that a lot. But what were you after using them? After like actually getting in, what'd you think?
It was definitely interesting. I mean, it's probably obvious. I didn't understand that you had to summon the boulders, the rocks, before you like threw them out. And I was like, how is this all working? But I kind of figured out on stream, and like the item thing, the fact that you can get like alchemy tables and get items, and like I still don't know what ultimating, like getting the ultimate version of 4 actually does like for you, but just having the items in general seems pretty interesting, and like kind of RNG, kind of like you're playing the lottery like the whole game. I don't know. It's really unique to me.
It's like playing orcs in Warhammer 40k. Yeah, just constant, just chaos. No, if you ult your 4, it puts red items into your potential drop table.
Oh, so you can that's how you get the red items. Okay, got it.
You can get red items from your 4 if you ult it, but that's a lot of skill points to take away from what could be some very, very punishing abilities that he has. I'm personally fond of ulting the 2 ability, his knockback, his kind of counter ability. It's really nice, and we can go over him a little bit more here because that might make a little bit more sense. So Gorgath, Earthen Guardian, year 252. I have no idea where in the lore for this world any of this fits at all. But you know, it's here. He apparently grew up on the back streets of Calpheon, and during his youth, he came across he just simply somehow came across the earth element. He was born. And
just stumbled upon it.
he got a lot of power, I guess, from this, and he became he met a legendary alchemist, and it changed his life. He was able to craft Shadow Lord weapons and sold them in the streets of Calpheon for money. And now he's in the Shadow Arena, ready to wreak havoc, and it's going to be great because some of you might have seen last night. Some of you guys might have seen last night. Jordine is dead to me. I am an Earthbender now. This is now my main. I'm not going to play ranked again until I'm comfortable with him, but so you'll probably see a lot of me in normal matches just trying to get the hang of him, but Jordine is dead to me. I am an Earthbender now.
How committed are you with that statement? Like, what if they revamped Jordine, or like a new Jordine combo came out like next week? Would you even give it a chance, or are you like?
Oh no, I totally give it a chance. It's just like as it is right now. As it is right now. Yeah, Jordine is dead to me. I am an Earthbender. As he stands right now, Jordine is dead to me. I will be Earthbending for the foreseeable future unless something changes.
All right. Sounds good. I like it.
But yeah, his you can't really necessarily see previews of his abilities yet on the website. I believe that's something that's still being worked on, but I can at least click through here and tell you what they are. His inherent ability is kind of the terminology used in Shadow Arena for the right click. His inherent ability is Earth Alchemy Stone. Essentially, you're doing the Earthbender ground kick and lifting a rock out of the air. You know, you're pulling a rock out of the ground and it's gonna hover over it for a little bit. And if you hit an enemy while you're lifting the rock out of the ground, it will do a bunch of damage and send them flying backwards.
Yes.
Pretty nice. They block projectiles. They just don't block bot projectiles, I found out. So
yeah.
they don't block like freeze or arrows from like bots or shit or specters. But if you run into a nasty Ahon who's trying to chain you and you're playing Gorgath, just, you know, put a boulder up. Easy, you know? No problem.
Oh my gosh, that sounds way too easy, but yeah, I mean, the boulders do work, and it's kind of an interesting concept. You can just block a lot of, like, ranged abilities. Like, would you say, like, he's a ranged counter? He's kind of ranged himself, too, right?
Yeah, because that's the thing, though, is that even if it's, like, an Orwin who's just, like, you can, like, infinitely pepper shots.
Yeah.
You know, because you're also ranged, if you say, you know, you can just kind of shoot it right back. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So and they home. Like, this was one thing I was able to test before is the rocks, they're not like, they won't make super sharp turns, but if they're behind a pillar and you have tagged them with your one, so real quick, your first ability, it's called rock manipulation, right? If you don't have an enemy targeted, like meaning the reticle is not red on your screen, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to explode and do damage really wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
But but if you have somebody targeted and your reticle is red and you use your first ability and there's boulders in there, there has to be boulders in the air or the ability doesn't do anything. So your one is useless without your inherent. So you have to make sure there's boulders in the air. If you got boulders in the air, use your one. They will home, like, heat-seeking missile track onto somebody. Like, even in the Coliseum area, like, where we start, if you can tag somebody with it and then they run around a pillar, they will follow them behind the pillar and explode. It's dirty.
That's probably, like, the best part. Yeah, that's great. I love that so much.
And I've seen it to where if you get it right and they get to them right as they use an iframe, like right as they dodge, the boulder will just stay there for a second and it'll explode after the iframe is done.
What? Wait, for real? Are you serious?
The boulder will just hover there for a second and then it's like detonate.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
All right.
So
also,
go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I noticed when I was playing him that you can summon, I mean, there's like a 2-second window, but you can summon 4 boulders and send all 4 of them. How practical do you think? Do you think people will actually do that? Do you think it's more useful to just throw up one and kind of like use that, or like should you be throwing up all 3 or 4? Like what's the strat with that? Because I'm not too sure how risky that is.
So there's kind of 2 strategies I feel like you can play with him right now. You can either be really offensive or really defensive. If you're really defensive, just take your time, play back, use your boulders to block, get all your boulders up, and then we'll get to his 3 here in a second, but you can use his 3 once all his boulders are up, and the 3 will actually create his 3. Here, I'll go ahead and, well, I say 3, but it's his 3rd ability here. Basically creates a sandstorm that gives him a DP buff and does damage over time in an area around him, but it also puts that same effect on his boulders. So sandstorms will whip around him, they'll also whip around each boulder, and if you have 3 boulders around you and you're sandstormed and all of them are sandstormed, somebody will come in. Somebody made this mistake with a Schultz, and I was playing this earlier. They charged in and they ran right into this sandstorm, and it just started chunking their health down. And then as soon as they were in the middle of the 3 boulders, I just dipped backward, hit my 1, and they just got him. It was like that game Mousetrap. I don't know if you've ever...
A long time ago.
But that's more of the defensive stance. You can also play a little bit more offensively, like if you're taking somebody by surprise. You can sprint attack to stagger them, and then use your right click to pull a boulder up, shoot the boulder at them to knock them back again, run after them and kick them, then use your 2, and then by then your right click is off cooldown again, so you can stagger again, right click to pull a boulder up and knock them back again, and you're just juggling. It's like a fighting game.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing is that like you bringing the boulder out is still an attack, and then you can use the boulder to attack again. Like, I didn't actually expect the boulder when you brought it out to like CC the opponent, but yeah, it does. It's kind of crazy, and you can do that every 6 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it's bonkers. The cooldowns don't quite line up for your 1 and your right click to be able to just like bump without like waiting a little bit, but like you can kite around your boulder then too to try to avoid abilities, and then let them get in just a little bit close to you, and then you get a back attack on them. If you know you're here, bad guys here, boulders here, got it, back attack, knock them back. Upchucks, thank you for that follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Oh, I appreciate it. But yeah, we didn't get to talk about his 2. His 2 is Rock Explosion. You basically, again, Earthbender kick the ground to bring up a big pillar of rocks that sends somebody flying backwards. It's great.
Yeah, that's like a key part of his combos, right? Is basically the 2, throwing that in there?
Yeah, actually. I ult the 2, because it's a massive damage increase, and it turns it from like an immediate melee range attack into a ranged attack. So instead of getting 1 boulder in front of you, you get like 3 boulders in front, or like 3 giant pillars of rock that jut up in front of you. So you get a little bit more of a range on it. It's real nice. So I like that. The only thing is, like, if you ult the 4, we'll get to that in a minute. That's a whole other thing. Ulting the 3, I believe, just gives a DP buff, and ulting the 1 increases the explosion size of the rocks, but not the damage. So you can still hit people, but from like further away. But the range is already so wide that the damage increase from the 2 is just well and beyond worth taking the ultimate on the 2. Especially with it being such a key part of the combo, like making sure that you ult your 2 for the damage, the knockback. It's so good. It's so good.
That the ultimate to increase your explosion like distance range, whatever it is, right? I think that's the same as, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the same as Heroine's Fireball. I don't think many people choose it unless they're trying to like third party or not, because it doesn't do anything for the damage or the range of the skill. It's just the explosion range itself, which I haven't seen anyone else really choose that over anything else. I wonder if anyone actually finds it useful, but it's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah. I haven't used it yet. I'm very much somebody that if it doesn't increase my damage or give me some kind of like super transparent, tangible, like I know exactly how this is going to benefit me, I usually don't take it. Which is why I haven't ulted the 4. I know what it does, but I don't do it very often. Because the damage from this is just so punishing. And then because the level of your 1, whatever level your 1 is at, affects the damage that your right click does. So because this is, again, key part of your combo, you want to make sure that this is a high level, because this will affect your damage here and here. So because the scaling of this ability affects 2 abilities, it's super important to level. And this is your killing move. This is your Jordian spinning slash. This is your, like, I'm gonna put you in the dirt, right? Literally, it's dirt. Uh,
Yep.
these two abilities you have to max. And at that point, you got to kind of figure out, okay, is my gear good, or is my gear not so good? If your gear is good, if you're feeling comfortable with where you're at, level up your 3, use it to your advantage. It's a tool in your toolkit that you can use very effectively. But if your gear's not good, that's why you have this. You can pull out your potion cart, and you can start selling potions to all the minions. And they'll buy your potions, and in return, you'll get probably more potions. But there's a chance to get other gear too. His 4 ability basically puts down a crafting bench, or a crafting cart, or a potion cart. And it's kind of like, if you're familiar with the pots that are all over the field in the map in general, you break one, all the minions in the area come running to you. This is like a miniature version of that. It doesn't have the range that the pot does, but this still has a pretty decent range to pull a pretty good amount of minions to you. And once they're all clustered up, you just pick a rock up, throw the rock out, easy loot. The only thing, though, is that it's got like a 1-minute cooldown, so it takes forever. And there's not a super high chance that you're going to get good gear out of it. Usually you're going to get like white gear, or you might get like a health pot or like a speed pot if you're lucky. I've gotten a matchlock out of it. That was super clutch.
Ooh, that's nice.
But there's like an internal table that will basically determine what you get based on chance. If you ult your 4, it will add Shadow Lord gear to the table. Ooh, so you can potentially get red gear for free every, at that point, 20 seconds.
That's crazy.
But it's a really small percentage. Like, you just gotta sit there and spam it. So
I haven't been that lucky yet, so need to play it more.
I mean, it takes an ability off the board, combat-wise. Even Hera has her tree that she can use to block and heal. Combat-wise, this has basically no use, other than maybe pulling it up as a Schultz is charging you and seeing if he hits the cart instead. I haven't tried it yet, but I really want to. Nixie, I'm looking at you.
That would be so good.
You dirty rat.
Dang, the call out. All right.
No, he ganked me last night and tanked my ranked placement, so I was a little salty.
Ooh.
It's okay. I was a little salty, but I'll come back. I'll come back. I'll make it. It'll come back. But yeah, it's a good ability for farming. It's a good ability early game, and if you find that late game your gear is just not where you want it to be, leveling this up will get you there. So.
Nice.
That's kind of the coverage on the new hero. I like him a lot. I took him into teams last night with Cloud. She was playing Hera and I was playing Gorgath, so we're going Wizard Witch.
Ooh,
it was nasty. It was nasty. It was absolutely messing people up.
Yeah, that sounds like a scary comp for sure. Like, I would not want to run into you two. Oh man.
I don't know, man. But what do you think about Gorgath? What do you think about the new hero where you're just
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty scary. I play Tagal mostly, so I don't have the issue of like my ranged abilities not going through the rocks, but still, if I come against a Gorgath that knows what he's doing, I would be afraid. I need to fight him more, honestly. But yeah, I mean, there's so much outplay potential with the rocks, and in teams, he's gotta be so scary in teams. Like, I think I'd be more confident fighting him in solos than teams. I mean, based off what I know right now, maybe I'll change my opinion later on, but yeah, he seems strong to me, and he seems scary, so I don't know. I want to try playing him, honestly. I want to give him a chance. When I played him on stream, it really, like, was a completely different playstyle than I'm used to, so I'll have to, like, get used to him for sure, and, yeah, I don't know. I really want to see people play him and see what people, like, come up with combos, and the fact that you can just throw out a rock, and then buff the rock, and then throw the rock at someone behind a pillar or like behind an object, that's the craziest thing. I don't think anyone else really has that ability. Like a lot of times heroes will just like run around a giant pillar and someone will try to capitalize on it, whereas this guy can literally like home in his rocks behind, like, all from a distance. It's kind of crazy. So,
I mean, you gotta have him targeted before they get behind the pillar and use the ability before they're behind the pillar, but it's not going to save them being behind the pillar. So that's nice.
Exactly.
And again, guys, sorry if the room in here is kind of dark. I'm wearing sunglasses. I had a 180-pound beer keg dropped on my head at work last week. I was in a neck brace and in the hospital for a couple days. Doing a lot better. I just get really bad migraines. I've got a lot of light sensitivity, so not totally. I'm still trying to get through that. So I appreciate y'all's patience with me. If sometimes my language and my cohesion might not be as good as it once was, but I'm trying to get through it.
Yeah, this guy's a monster. He's like, yeah, we have to do the stream. We got to do the stream. I'm like, are you sure, man? Like, are we good? He's like, yeah, we have to do it. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
It's been like a month,
yeah,
and stuff kept coming up, and we had to wait. I mean, the cool thing is, Rinku got the green light, and with you getting the green light, that's like, kind of like, at least how you kind of put it, it's kind of like a seal of approval that, like, what we're doing is good. We're doing the good.
Yeah, for
here.
sure.
So that's kind of cool, but it took a little bit to get that, and then, you know, to actually, it took a little bit to build up a backlog of responses for our form later on in this evening, and I'll go ahead and pull over into the agenda again. Later on this evening, we've got a community corner and a Q&A corner. So our community corner is going to be like clips and things that people have sent in of cool plays that you guys have had, and, you know, that you guys just want to show off, you know, show out to people on the internet and be like, hey, look at me, I'm Big Billy, you know, insert phrase here. I'm a hard butt, and I'm gonna kick butt in this game, and you should watch me. That's where you send those. And
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and then the Q&A is like people asking questions. Like, we had a couple people that were a little bit newer to the game, I could tell from some of the questions they asked. Like, there's a question about Tagal, there's a question about the new hero, just about combos and how to, you know, outplay different classes and things like that. So we're gonna cover those two during the Q&A, and then potentially open it up for chat to ask a couple questions if you guys want to have any talking points you want to talk about. We have some restrictions again that on talking points, just because Rinku's like actually official staff and stuff, so we got a couple things that are like off the table, but you know, we're gonna try and keep it as open as possible.
Yeah, right. I guess I should mention really quick about that is just so people know, like, I'm a community manager, not a dev, so like questions you want to ask devs about like future content and class balance, like I can relay what you guys tell me, but I can't really, like, I'm not a dev, so I can't like address those or answer those officially, because that's what the devs are there for. So we have dev AMAs for all of that, but as far as like the community and like just talking about the game in general and like what you guys want to share with the devs, that's what I can do. And of course we can talk about all the new updates and everything that's already been officially announced and all that stuff. So yeah,
it's kind of like we're just here to, like, you know, spitball and talk about like cool ideas that, you know, we could do as a community, but then cool ideas that, like, hey, this would be really cool if this was in the game too. And, you know, kind of like do those kind of like dream off in the distance scenarios, and then, you know, Rinku's the guy that can relay those potentially. But that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's all beside. We're gonna get into patch notes now. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. We talked about Gorgath. You know, he's a beast. We're gonna see more of him later, because once we're done here, I'm gonna play a little bit as him. We talked about maybe doing some duos. So if people want to get in on some duos action, I think me and Rinku are gonna do some duos after the podcast is over. So we'll see if we can pull some competition in there. But yeah, we'll have to see. Gorgath's a beast, man. Gorgath and Tagal. It's gonna be it's a nasty combo, dude. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I can just imagine like being able to run around your rocks and like bait people into them, then you just smash them all. Like, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
So, all right, patch notes.
Patch notes. So here, I'm not gonna just go through it. Here are the updates made to Shadow Arena during the maintenance. No, that's not what we're doing. We're gonna go through, and the first thing we should probably talk about, because this falls under new stuff too, is the new ranked structure. Coming out of the last ranked structure, my thoughts on the last ranked structure were it had some good points, it had some bad points. One of the bad points was just that you could blow up your rank early in the season and then camp spots. The good points were that if you really wanted to grind, you knew exactly how many points you needed. You knew exactly like where everybody was at in a total point tier, right? So now it's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit more balanced this way, but there are still some points that I know we talked a little bit about last night that there might be, some things to work on. That feedback has been delivered. And but real quick, I want to make sure that this is at least transparent, that we talk about this, because this is something that last time, the last ranked system, there wasn't a lot of talk on how the points worked or where your points went. I literally found out the last day of the season that it was costing me 200 points per round to enter a ranked game. Like, the math hadn't clicked in my head, because I was like, okay, I just won a game, I got a bunch of kills, I got like 900 points, right? And then I checked my rank, and I'm only 700 points up. And I was like, wait a second, this is weird. So that didn't register with me. Other people might have seen that, but I didn't see it. So I want to make sure that there is a record that people can be like, oh, you don't know how the rank system works. Watch this. This is what we are providing here today, because it's something that I would have wanted last time, and so I'm gonna change it. Be the change you want to see in the world and stuff.
Sounds good. I like it. All right. Yeah, it's definitely completely different this time. Completely different approach. So.
Oh, they're talking about the static blip. See, I don't know why it's doing that. That's so weird. Hang on.
Is it still happening?
Check your there's a small. Yeah, there is. Apparently, it's still happening. I don't know why that's happening. One second.
Yeah, after the stream, you should check out RTX voice. I'll just send it to you. Maybe that might fix it or something.
That might fix it, yeah.
I don't know. You're using like a filter in OBS, maybe?
Yeah, I'm using a filter in OBS. I'm wondering if that might be it. We'll work on it. Well, I appreciate the I literally didn't know before like 2 minutes before I went live that this was even a thing. So yeah, if you guys see that, please let me know, because these are the things that I need to fix. These are things that I need to make sure aren't happening, because this is like, I'm out of work for the foreseeable future because of the head injury. So like, this is all I can do. I need to have I need to have my ducks in a row.
Dang.
Yeah, it's not awesome, but that's beside the point. All right, so how the new ranking system works. Everybody goes in as a shade, right? So whatever you did in the first half of the season, first third, I'm not sure how many parts there are going to end up being, but in the, whatever you happened in that first part is now kind of out the door. You got your title, you got your you got it. Now in the second part, you start over as a shade, right? So you've got to do now placement matches. In the other system, you literally just started at 0 points, and after so many points, it just gave you a rank. You just start at bronze 5 and you work your way up. Everybody starts in the same spot. In this new system, it's based on placements. So it takes into account where you ended in part 1, and it takes into account how many points you have at the end of 5 games. Now, how the algorithm is that determines what placement, where you get based on how you place and how many points you get per round, I'm not all too sure, but that's kind of how it goes. And I know that's how a lot of other PvP systems do it too. Like the game I come from is Guild Wars 2, and they had 10 placement games. At the end of 10 placement games, depending on how many you win or lost, that's where you ended up. That's how it is in League. That's how it is in a lot of games. So it kind of lines up with the current esports climate, I think.
Yep.
But it's a little bit different than what it was before. So tier point, and your whole rank is based around these tier points, right? And they're not in like the tens of thousands like they were before, right? It's literally 0 through 100, right? Every kill you get in a game is worth 2 points, right? If you win a game, you get like 20 points. If you come in second, you get like 10. I'll pull it up here. This is how the points
work. It also matters about the kills too.
Yeah, so you get 2 points per kill after grace period, and then if you win, you get 20. Second, you get 10, and it goes on down. Literally, the only time you're going to like not get points is if you have no kills and you come outside the top 10.
Yeah,
that's the only time you're gonna lose points per se. The other thing is that here on the website we can see exactly how many points it costs to enter a round. So I placed gold 4. Not super happy about it, But I'm gonna work my way up, dang it. So gold 4, if I want to play a ranked game, I have to spend 3 points, right? That means that I at least have to get like 2 kills or come in like the top 8 and get a kill. It's not a lot. It's not asking a lot, right? It's not asking for a lot for me to be able to gradually earn points. And the thing is that when you hit 100 points in your tier, so let's say right now I'm at gold 4, I don't have any points. Let's say I get to 100 points. I now get a promotional match. Yes, bots do count as kills. So bots will also give you the 2 points per kill.
Yep.
Yeah. But right now, if I get 100 points, I'll get a promotional match. In order to level up, to go to gold 3, right? To go to gold 3, I have to do 2nd or better in my promo match to go up a rank. So I have to be in the top 2, right? Yeah. Otherwise, I gotta go again. But you just keep going, right? You keep trucking. That's how ranked works. It's a little bit of a grind, but you know, if you want to actually go out and kill people and get 2nd or better, great. If you want to sit on the edge of the ring and just, you know, hide in a bush, so there's only you and one other person left, great. That's 2nd. You'll get into gold 3.
Yeah.
And then you start over with 0 points, and you got to work your way up to get to gold 2, 1, and the requirements get steeper and steeper per rank, right? So when you start getting up into like plat, like gold 2 and gold 1, you have to pay 4 points. Plat's like 5, 6, 7. When you're all the way at the top, the most you'll ever have to pay to get into and by pay I mean like rank points wise, to get into a ranked game is 10 points. And if you win, you'll basically like double your money essentially. You'll double your rank points. You'll get 20 back, right? So you'll get 10. You paid 10 in. You're gonna leave 10 higher than when you went in just based on placement. But if you get first, you're at least gonna get 1 kill. So 12 points. Unless you're just really unlucky, and maybe a boss kills them outside the ring or something.
Imagine that. Yeah.
So, but that's what we're looking at. That's the new rank system. That's how it's gonna work. As far as how it's gonna work on the leaderboard, I'm not all too sure. It's gonna be probably based on like your medal rank. So your medal rank will determine what kind of bracket you're put into. So everybody that's like Diamond 1 is gonna be in this top bracket, right? And then going down, it's gonna be like based on how many points they have to like the individual number, right? So if somebody's got 99 points in Diamond 1, someone's got 98, it's gonna be rank 1 and 2. Right. If there's a tie, not sure how that's going to end up working. That's to be determined. We'll have to wait and see. But that's how the rank system works now. It's a little bit different from before.
Yeah.
So a player can qualify for a promo match when they reach 100 points. If a player's tier points reaches 0, they'll get demoted.
Ooh. Yeah,
so
that's demotion now.
Yeah, so that's new. You couldn't get demoted before. Now you can get demoted if you mess up. So,
yeah. I mean, before you could lose points, right? But you couldn't like lose your ranking, like your bracket symbol, whatever you want to call it. And I'm actually not sure if because I was testing the rankings a bit and like testing like the placement matches and on my own time. I don't know if the points you have actually give you better ranks, because I see on the leaderboard there's some people with like a lower amount of points that are like above other people. I'm not really sure actually how specific it is, but I know definitely like the ranking you are. If you're like obviously like diamond is above platinum, but if you're the same exact ranking, I don't know how points update. Or
I have noticed it's a little
out.
bit behind on its refresh rate. So like some people might have just finished a game and might be ahead in points technically than the other person, but that person might have just gotten into a game and their points are lower because they just had to pay the entry cost. So it doesn't update live like that. It takes a little bit for it to actually refresh, but that's why we're in early access.
Yeah, definitely. And I also know that the placement rounds, it definitely matters how many people you kill. So like if 2 people like do 5 matches and they get first place every time, that's still not it doesn't guarantee you to have the best placement, because it also matters how many kills you get. So I'm really curious, like, if you guys have already done your placement matches, like, what did you place in after your first 5 matches? Because even if you get first every game, it's not a guarantee that you get put in Plat 1, from what I understand. So, kind of curious on that one too, but just something I noticed.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 I got first in, and then I came in 30th and then 16th.
Okay.
You know, I thought I had plenty of kills throughout, but I wound up getting gold 4. So, I think it
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So it's definitely interesting. Definitely gonna have to, you know, like I said, try to work my way back up, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
the next point on here is Gorgath. We already kind of covered him. We've got the new mastery levels and titles that are in the system for him. Let's see. Added a new item, Energy Recovery Potion, that can be obtained using Forbidden Skill Alchemy 4. Ooh, this is... I didn't see this. I haven't gotten one of these yet. So that's a new item.
Must be rare.
You can apparently get, you know, a potion that will fully fill up your, which for him is really nice because kind of like Badal, all of his abilities use his energy.
Oh yeah, true.
So like whether it's pulling your rocks up, shooting them out, all of it. So you have to kind of gauge when you're going to sprint, when you're going to evade, and when you're going to attack, because you have to have a certain amount of energy in order to pull rocks out. And if you have this potion that's gonna fully max your stamina after a little bit, that's gonna seriously help. So I didn't even realize that before. That's cool. We already talked about his potions and lotions cart.
Yep. That's gonna be interesting. I haven't gotten the item at all, but yeah, I haven't used it much, so wonder how rare it is.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to look at for sure. Even down underneath that, there was a new system added in, the clan system. So,
ooh, yeah.
I'm super excited to see how this gets implemented into game modes, like down the line. Like if there's going to be like some kind of like GVG system or like clan v clan system where you can get like 10v10 in like just a massive brawl. Like, could you imagine being out on like an open, like one of the open plains in like just north of like the extraction mill, and you just have like 10v10? And you just run at each other.
Oh my god, that'd be so awesome. Yeah, for sure. I want to see clan v clan battles, like tournaments and all that. Like that'd be amazing.
That'd be so cool. The clan v I was talking with Isi a little bit. He had the idea for a clan v clan King of the Hill tournament and have like if 5 clans are represented, each clan sends or like 4 clans are represented and each clan sends 4 representatives, so you have a field of 16, and then you have overall clan points accumulated for every battle that a clan member wins, and then you have overall individual points, and then you run it in like a Swiss style round robin that we did last time that we did a King of the Hill style tournament. We'll go over that here in a bit too. There was one of those. There was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. My short-term memory is not great right now, but it happened. I have clips. There's proof. But doing something like that, and so that like the clans can get bragging rights, so that you end up like making sure that every bracket just has like 1 person from each clan in it, and that clan isn't fighting clan and stuff like that. But
yeah, that'd be so hype. I'd love to see that.
It'd be really cool too, because if you could get like 2 clans into sparring grounds, because you can just put the flag down, right, and then summon everybody.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could, like, if 2 clan leaders, if you walk up to somebody, right, and you hit the duel button, and you have the option for duel, clan battle, cancel. And if it's a clan battle, everybody that's in your clan gets put on a team, and everybody that's in their clan gets put on a team, and then you have clan battles and sparring grounds. Because the field is huge, and you can just go wherever you need to use the space that you need.
Yeah. I want to see a Heidel battle. That'd be sick.
Oh, in the cityscape? That'd be so cool.
Yeah. You could hide in buildings and stuff. Like, that'd be great.
God. Can you imagine, like, just 3 or 4 Harus? Because, like, that's the thing, too, is that when you're in that kind of size, your team comp is going to be, like, whatever you want. It's not that you can't double up. You could have an entire team of nothing but Harus that all just go invisible at once. It'd be beautiful.
Oh no, I don't know if beautiful is the right word for that.
No, you can literally have like a Black Plague simulator and play Kill the Rat and Heidel.
Oh my god. Alright. Have you tried the new flag feature with your clan yet?
I have not yet. I have not. I gotta see how many people I can get online at once to try it out. So that'd be cool. Hang on, you want to see? Oh, getting capture the flag. That'd be cool.
All right.
Like but that's like in normal capture the flag. There's like zones, right? So there's like a jail on one side and a jail on the other side. And if you end up like tagging somebody over here, they go to your jail.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be interesting. Like, what if you have fights on either side, and then if you kill somebody on your side, they get put in jail. And then when somebody from your team has to come up and, like, channel an unlock animation to let everybody out.
Huh. That'd be crazy.
Like, if everybody has to, and then they can leave and run back to their side, and they've got, like, a buff or something that makes so they can't, like, kill anybody. But, what if you could, but then, like, if you die on your side, you just, like, go back to your base.
Yeah.
But then that would
clan
also...
v clan.
Like, clan v clan, capture the flag. Like,
capture the flag.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Invading the other team's territory and stealing their flag in Shadow Arena. That'd be amazing. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Like, you put one, like, north in Heidel, and you put the other one south in the town that's, like, in Glish. It's, like, just south. So that you have, like, the two cities fighting each other. You know, one's a lot bigger, but, you know, it comes with the terrain. It's just random what side you get.
Yeah, yeah. Man, you're making me hype. I want to play that.
God, it sounds so cool. I want it. I want it. Oh. Oh. Oh, what about tag modes? I don't know. I've never really played any tag fighting modes. Like,
yeah, how does that work exactly?
It sounds like it's like 1v1, but then like when you kill somebody, like the next person that's like up on deck moves in and they have to fight the person with lower health.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
I think they do that sometimes in video. I don't know like how often anything organized about that happens, but I've heard of that happening in video before.
Oh, okay. So you could
how it would work in Shadow Arena.
You could hit a button to tag the next person on deck in if you're low health, and then you slowly regen health while you're out.
Like a fighting game, okay.
Yeah, so like it's almost like I would think it would be cool if you have to like you and your teammate have to both like within a 2-second window hit the same hit the tag button like you're actually tagging.
Yeah.
And then they swap.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I've never played a game like that wasn't like an arcade fighter at like a barcade. So.
Same. Yeah. That's the first thought is like Tekken or something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Like I know I'm really stoked that because I think that even the King of the Hill mode could be adapted to do something like that. The King of the Hill mode is like with how it puts everybody into shade and how it like kind of manages where everybody's at and how everybody is. Like, if you could real quick tag, and then all of a sudden it just, like, brings up that fight, that, like, this person versus this person with new health bars, and they go at it, and then every time you tag, it's just, like, a quick reset. Like, I feel like that could be... I don't know. I don't make games. I just, I am a person with a head injury that word vomits on the internet. So, I have zero experience in that realm. But... it sounds like that'd be a really cool way to implement it.
Yeah, that's a good point on the King of the Hill too, because I know the devs have actually said, I believe, somewhere on the website, right? They've said that they want to improve King of the Hill mode, and they're looking at ways to improve it. So if you guys have any ideas of like where King of the Hill should go in the future or how it should go, I think it was one of the answers where we talked about a possible ranking system for it. They want to make sure it's like in a good place before they add a ranking system. So I'm sure there's room for like updates or changes as well, if you guys have any ideas about that. So yeah, it's interesting where it could go.
Yeah, sweet. So if you guys have ideas like these, we are Pearl Abyss is looking for ways to improve the current game, or improve the game and improve King of the Hill mode. So if you want tag, spam it, add them on Twitter, throw it in suggestions.
Yep.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, I think is the term. I feel like as a content creator, for when I spam things, there's a lot of like negative feedback I can get for like spamming stuff. But if we do it in mass, if we do it in force as a group, it'll, you know, maybe it'll happen. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's so much cool stuff that can be done with the clan feature. Right now, there's not a lot. It's basically just a way to organize.
Yeah.
I think so. It's not necessarily like it's an easy way to do like in-houses. So we're gonna be trying to do in-house tournaments every other Friday, alternating with these podcasts. So these podcasts are gonna run bi-weekly, right? They're gonna run every other Friday, so we can go over patch notes, go over tourney results, go over you know, recent events, go over any announcements that have come up, things like that, right? Alternating with those. With the podcasts, we're going to be doing, at least my clan, the Wolfpack clan. If you want an invite, hit me up, because we've got, like, I think 35 more spots open. But, if you want an invite, we're going to be running basically in-house tournaments, like, every other Friday. Whether it's King of the Hill, whether it's, you know, 1v1 round robin, whether we figure out some way to work around our own tag system, maybe. You know, maybe that's how we figure it out. But, you know, that's the plan anyway, every other Friday doing events and tournaments like that. So that's going to be really cool. It's a good way to organize. It'd be really cool if we could have, like the tags, you know what I mean? Like clan tags.
Oh, yeah.
By our names. Because then it's like, you know, extra BM when you, like, get taken out by somebody from, like, a rival clan and you know it. So, like, even though it just says that, like, it's like Venslar 1, right? Maybe it's Venslar 1 WPS, and you're like, oh, crap. I don't know who that is, but I know I want to go get them now.
Yeah.
Which, you know, maybe it defeats the purpose of not having names in there. You don't know at least specifically who it is, though. I like this. I like this feature.
The one thing I can say about the clan is that this is only the beginning. I believe they're already working on more things for clans in general, so I'll let you guys figure out when that happens, whatever happens. But yeah, I mean, of course we want to improve on it, just like the King of the Hill. They have some ideas of where it can go, and also, of course, they want to hear what you guys think about it and what you guys want to see in clans. So just goes back to send us more feedback. We always look at everything on Discord as well, especially in the feedback channels, so especially when a lot of people want the same thing, it's more likely to happen. So keep sending us your feedback. But yeah, clans are hype. I'm curious to see who's gonna rival the Wolfpack clan. Like who's gonna be your rival clan? Like you need some competition, right?
Well, I know that EC and Idriel have a clan. I know Nike has a clan, and I know Doru has a clan.
Oh.
So
really?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's really gonna be who's gonna rival Doru's clan. If we're all being real.
Sure.
If we're all being real, it's gonna be who's gonna stack up again, because Doru and Mime are in the same clan.
Oh.
I don't believe there is a database yet to tell where, you know, what clan ranks there are, what clans there are. I would imagine there is a spot for clan ranking in the game already. It's just not populated yet, so I imagine it's being worked on. But it's in the feature is in the game, but not released yet. At least from what I can see. That's, you know, again, based on my small internet boy pleb brain. So.
I mean, yeah, it seems all right.
All right, so the next piece, Q&E fixed. Cool, moving on. Nah, I know this has been a pain point for a lot of players for a while, is that Q&E, your Dark Shift, your Black Spirit, and your Blink could get canceled by autos. And then you'd be on cooldown, and, you know, then you wouldn't have actually been able to use the ability. And it's literally like your emergency escape button. You have 2 minutes now without an emergency escape, and it didn't work when you needed it. That was a major pain point, and it looks like now it was fixed, and you even get cooldown reduction based on what CCs you get hit with while it's on cooldown.
Yeah, what do you think of that change, actually? I'm really curious.
All right, so
as far as cooldowns being reduced.
So, an auto attack. Sorry, it's not an auto attack. It's a it's like an LMB. Like a basic attack. You're swinging your weapon. Like Yanwa just goes, you know, just holds the left mouse button. Like it would cancel it. It doesn't anymore. But It doesn't anymore. It does not do that anymore. It's fixed. So, but now you get cooldown reduction. So if you get, let's say your cooldown on your Dark Shift is already kind of at like maybe like a minute or like 30 seconds, and then you're in the final two and you're fighting an Ahon and she gets you in her first, CC chain and you're able to blink out of it. By the time you're out of that CC chain, your Dark Shift might be up because that's a lot of CC that she just pumped out on you, and you just got a bunch of cooldown reduction. So honestly, I think that it helps to balance out the weight of a CC-based class versus somebody that's maybe more attack or like Yanhwa doesn't have a lot of CC, not nearly as much as like an Aeon or a Schultz, and getting some cooldown reduction onto your Q when you're getting CC'd by those high CC type classes, I think can be really helpful. When you're fighting a Yanhwa that might not, or like I don't know, like Jordine really just is Shield Bash. That's Shield Bash and Kick. That's going to be the biggest CC you're going to see, outside of maybe the throw from the Spinning Slash, but like, you're not going to get trapped forever by it, versus some of these other classes where you can get trapped forever by some of the CC. I think this helps balance that out a little bit, even if those, but we're not going to touch on balance. I can talk about that. My own opinions on that later. Jan was okay. Blink can now be in this regardless of situation is something that we touched on a little bit before we went live tonight, just to clarify. So what this means is that Blink can be used, as long as you're not in a hard crowd control. So if you're knocked down, like if you can basic attack or kick, because right now your basic attacks and your kicks don't get interrupted. Those used to get interrupted too. They don't now. So if your basic attacks and kicks if you can basic attack or kick, you can also blink, is basically how that works. Those are your three. You can basic attack, kick, or blink, depending on the situation if you end up getting stuck, right? Dark Shift doesn't matter if you're CC'd. You can just use it. It's your emergency escape button. That's that, eject button in the plane that you hit to parachute out when you're crashing, right? And
that's a really good way to put it, yeah.
So Dark Shift would now push back based on the hit point. I'm not really sure what that means, but it sounds like it was maybe before doing the same animation regardless of how far away your character was from the Dark Shift. So when if you got triggered a Dark Shift next to you and then maybe you backed up a little bit, you still got knocked back a little bit. Now it's based on where it actually pops. That's just my assumption, though. That's based on the wording here. I'm not 100% sure what it means by based upon the hit point, but
yeah, that's what I assumed too. Is based upon where it hits. I guess is what the hit point is probably meaning. Yeah.
Jump gates. This is pretty big because these were random. I remember I would sit in Black Spirit with my map up and look to see where the jump gates were popping up, so I could go right to one as soon as I popped out of Black Spirit, so I could immediately get the Spectre, come around, try to get the gear and the skill points early. That's not the case anymore. You will always know where the jump gates are because they're always going to be in the same spot now. Kind of similar, and we're probably going to want to talk about this too, is how the boss and the altar changes. Have been. The bosses and the altars have been changed for this second part of the season. So with altars now, and I'm going to talk about all of this in conjunction because this kind of deals with map awareness as a broader topic. So before, if you wanted to go after a boss, if you wanted to go for an altar, you had to kill a boss, right? So if you wanted an altar, you had to go for a boss. Sometimes the bosses were spawning outside the zone so far that it would be just impossible to go get. I feel like that's something that I've heard has also been being worked on, but it's something that's not going to be the case anymore. You don't need to kill a boss to go get altars. Altars will, I believe, start activating randomly, but then proceed in a clockwise fashion around the map. So it's, if you have let's say in Glitch there's a random altar and that's the first one that pops, right? Let's say Glitch pops and it's a random altar. You're gonna get a notice on your screen, same as you would for a boss, that says random reward altar will be activating in 2 minutes. So you go there, you fight off some people, maybe you grab that random buff, maybe it's, you know, like an elixir of life, you pick it off the ground, and as soon as it activates though, you're going to get another alert saying, hey, elixir of life buff, or elixir of life altar is going to activate in 2 minutes, and let's say that one's out in extraction mill. So you can literally just track in a circle clockwise to each altar to make sure that you're trying to maximize your buff gain. So now you don't need to kill bosses. The trade-off is that now bosses have a chance to drop 2 pieces of red gear.
Yeah, I noticed that like one of the first games I played too. It's kind of interesting. So you can get a huge boost from that. Also, something else to mention, by the way, is like because you don't have the icon above your head from the boss, because it doesn't exist anymore, and also the vision buff. There's no like what is it called? Owl's Eye buff, I believe, the visual effect that would normally be above your head. We got a lot of complaints about like, oh, this is giving me away, like I can't hide when there's a giant thing above my head. Those are no more. So there's no more like symbols above your head, basically. And you don't need to kill a boss to get an altar, like we just talked about. So these are like big changes for sure.
Like this seriously affects game flow. Like and like it just does. Like that's going to change how you what kind of strategy you take into the map, and what kind of like how you want to play the map as a whole. If you miss an altar, you know exactly where the next one's going to be in 2 minutes, so you can just go ahead and hustle up and get there. If you want to get to a boss and it's going to spawn in 30 seconds on the other side of the map, you already know where all the jump gates are. You can just head right there and see if you can jump gate out to the boss. It helps, I think, from a strategic standpoint to consistently be able to position yourself game after game. The only thing is that if other people have similar strategies or have similar thought processes as you, you're going to run into more people, which is going to drive more combat and drive more fights and more kills. So, at the end of the day, I think everybody wins out of that scenario, to be honest, rather than it just being up to RNG and luck who gets closest to the boss whenever it seems to spawn, or whoever ends up starting their game closest to a jump gate, or, you know, whoever ends up, you know, there's a lot less RNG involved and a lot more strategy, and I think that's good for the health of the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's they're definitely huge changes, but it's no longer a matter of like, oh, I'm gonna kill the boss and I'm the only one with the boss symbol and the only one that can activate the altars, and I can just go to whatever altar I want. And now, I mean, anyone can get any activated altar without killing a boss, and anyone can just go and kill a boss and not have a thing above their head the whole game. You know, like, so yeah, it's I think it's a good change. We'll have to see what you guys think.
Yeah, and you know, if your gear's stacked and you want to try to, you know, knock out some other players, you know where the hot spots are going to be. You don't have to just run around randomly and try to look for minions moving in awkward ways off in the distance. You know what I mean? You can just like, you're just like, oh, that's the altar. It's going to pop up next. I'm going to go there and hide behind a bush, and then I'm going to kill somebody. It's going to be great. Sound like if I said that in any other context, I'd be put on a list. But you know, we're on. All right. So, hero changes. Let's see. So this is a visual change. So super armor, defense, and invincibility buff is going to put a visual effect over people's heads. I haven't really noticed this outside of just the bull that pops up from time to time over my head when I'm fighting. So I'll just have to keep an eye on that. If anybody else has seen what this is, you know, you can let me know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that applies to the Gaul. I haven't seen that personally yet, but yeah, I'm interested in that one as well.
Oh, sometimes you could get kicked if somebody's looking, if like on their screen, they're looking at you, if their camera is pointed backwards, but their camera's pointing at you, they could kick and still hit. Is that what this is saying? Then start using kick backwards while not moving, appeared as if they were kicking in the original direction from the perspective of other players. So other players.
That's been a graphical issue.
Okay, so that just sounds like if somebody's looking at you, but somebody quick turns and kicks, and it looks like you just got kicked, like with the person kicking in front of you in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So that just sounds like maybe it sounds like I haven't experienced that. Sounds like it's fixed. I'm not gonna worry about it. Fixed an issue where the DP plus 8% buff was not applied when hit by stun or a knockdown in place. So guys, this is a percent buff. Keep this in mind that if they have 0 DP, this does nothing. If you have no DP, this buff does nothing. If you have knockdowns and stuns early game, go ham, because that's really a that's a debuff. That's a buff that's going to affect your gameplay, not other people's. So, you know, if you play a class that's very CC heavy, keep in mind that you're gonna have a much easier time now early game, because as people build DP, this will stack, and it sounds like this was not being applied before. So if you were a heavy DP class, if you're a heavy CC class, you were seeing these benefits all the way through the game. Now you're gonna see a little bit of a nerf later game. So keep in mind that you're gonna have an easier time early game now than you will late game to get kills. This I think is just a graphical fix. So damage and skill description actually matches damage dealt. Same for Schultz. So there's no changes for those two right now. So these two are just kind of running as status quo. Massive CC, massive S tier heroes in my opinion, just with how well they're able to combo and get people from 100 to 0 just like that. Let's see. An issue where RMB without any stamina would make her stop moving. I was not aware of that. Glad that's fixed.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Seriously?
for all you Orwin mains out there, I don't know how many of you are now that Vero is gone on record saying that Orwin's trash 2020. But
Oh no.
it was. Hey, I'm just quoting. But you know, now you don't have to worry about that. Now that's not an issue. So Sleeve Tangler, let's see. So this is a little bit of an adjustment. So Badal has been seeing a lot of adjustments back and forth in a lot of the most recent patches. Went from being an extremely powerful, extremely CC heavy champion when basic attacks would interrupt, to then all of a sudden getting kind of really, really nerfed. He turned into basically just a sniper that would blow people up with his helix, and that was your move. You blew him up with the helix, you kept him CC'd as long as you could, and then you dipped out, and then you went back in with the helix. Now it seems like his combos are becoming a much more active part of his gameplay. It sounds like you can chain his combos back together a little bit better now. So this is kind of along the line of that. It looks like this is at ultimate level, where the third strike activates a little bit faster, and this it would be a big problem that apparently now is fixed. That apparently if you ulted your 2, it just wouldn't do damage. Now it does.
All right.
So
that would be pretty bad.
for all you wheelchair mains out there, that's not a problem anymore. Have fun. We found you the miracle pill. Good job. You can walk again. Goyen. So and he got a little bit of a nerf. So he reduced his base damage of crouching attack from 2.5 times to 2 times. So he was doing everybody does 2.5 times damage from a crouch attack, is I think what this is saying. His got reduced to just 2 times because his base attack damage is so high. Because he attacks so slow, his base attack is like really high.
Yeah.
But since this is just a flat thing that everybody gets, and everybody's going to be able to do it at the same rate, because it's a crouch attack, it's just, everybody gets that, right? So if everybody gets a crouch attack, keeping the damage a little bit more even makes sense, because following up from that is very easy for him, and that's just a lot of damage. Extra Ash, thank you for that T2 sub. Heck yeah, dude. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Very much appreciate
Nice.
it. And Chaotic with the 12 bits. Thank you so much. With 45 now. No slap yet.
Ooh.
No slap yet. He's fishing for it. He's fishing for it. Let's see. So, and he gets it. There's the slap.
Nice.
It's random. It's wherever there's a random number that gets chosen every time it's found, and if you bit in the amount that gets randomly chosen, it'll play this clip where one of our mods gets hit in the face with pizza dough.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's amazing. I love it.
But corpse cut ultimate level, fix an issue where the DP buff was not applied when he's okay. So this is good. He gets this is working as intended now. And this is just graphical. So this is now the damage in the tooltip is actually the damage that's being dealt. Cool.
Yeah.
This is huge. This is huge. Lon got this is very her 2 having the casting time reduced by 30%. So she's just gonna be able to whip that out and put you on the ground. Like, cause that's her ability where she tags you and pulls you in and puts you on the ground. Like the combo from that into her 3 is really, really, really nasty. So that is huge. Lon players will love this. Because this is one of those things where it's like, it takes so long to wind up and it's so easily telegraphed that it can just be interrupted, like just out the gate. Like it's unless you're catching somebody by surprise, it's very hard to land that. So that's very, very nice. And then it looks like she gets 2 attacks out of her 4 now. So when she lands, she not only does the knock up, but she's going to have a follow-up attack as well. So she gets a little bit more damage. She's going to have a little bit more versatility. She's going to be a little bit easier to play, friends. Easier to play. Which I think she needed, because I'm not going to lie. Like, it's one of those things where it's kind of weird. Lon is weird because her 1 will activate from the point of where the ability is activated. Her 2 activates from where your reticle is pointed.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that before.
So
I want to play the Lon after this.
We're gonna be doing duos.
Yeah, we better see some Lons out there with the buffs.
So like her 2, wherever your reticle is pointed, that's where it's gonna hit, right? Her 1, your reticle doesn't matter. Wherever your reticle was when you activated the skill, that's where it's gonna hit. So you have to be able to line up your ability and then like lead your shot with your 1. Your 2, you don't have to. It's the difference between like projectiles and hit scans. It's like a projectile on R1 and a hit scan on R2, but because it's the same weapon and because it's the same character, it plays weird with, at least for me, it messes with my head a little bit. So I am glad to see though that it almost sounds like this is gonna bring it more in line with her 1, that when you trigger it, it happens. So wherever you're aiming, that's where it's gonna go. And then her 4 adding more abilities is gonna just increase her combat potential. So, you know, Lons were easy prey before. We don't quite know that now. We'll have to wait and see.
That's very true.
I don't know. Have you played much Lon?
I have not played much Lon. I've played against a lot of Lons and felt very confident. So I wonder if I'll still feel confident after this. But yeah, I'm curious how much of a buff this is and like what Lon players think of this. Because yeah, I think as a Tagal, it seemed pretty easy to fight Lons, unless it was Doru playing Lon. Other than that,
Doru playing anybody is you're gonna die. But
that's so true. You could probably beat me on any hero. So.
All right, so monsters, guys, monster buffs. Nah, I don't think that's what's here. Okay, so monsters get minus 50% DP out in the fog. That doesn't affect monsters a whole lot unless you're fighting like a boss or unless you're fighting like one of the big purple guys, right? So if you're going out to get a quick health boost from one of the purple guys or grab some blue gear, or if you're going after a boss, now the bosses and the purple guys will have a minus 50% DP reduction. Or the other thing that could be is that your 50% DP reduction wasn't being accounted for by the monsters. From the wording, I can't really tell. But I think it's the monsters that are getting a 50% DP reduction.
I think it's the debuff from the fog itself, right?
Yeah, because it says, well, is the fog being counted as a monster?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's actually in the monster section. Maybe that's...
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to like actually ask about that.
So if we're just taking it as it's written, then it's saying that now all players will have a 50% DP reduction when you're in the fog. If you're taking it in context, it sounds like monsters will have a 50%. We'll have to get clarification on that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was in the monster section. I'll have to ask about
Because I'm not going to lie, I thought we had a 30% DP reduction as players. Let's see.
The fog is a monster.
defeating the Ruins Golem no longer drops light stones. So light stones were something that in the first part of the season you could collect to up your, basically RNG up your rank points. That's not a thing anymore, it looks like, because we're operating under a different system. It'd be really awkward to all of a sudden then randomly get a resplendent light stone and get like 300 rank points on a system where you only need 100.
Yeah.
So that just doesn't sound like it's a thing. I know I have seen them in the game when I'm playing normals. I have not seen them in ranked. So depending on how you're queuing might affect whether or not you see them in game. But
interesting. Okay.
It's not a thing for ranked matches, I don't believe.
Yeah, I haven't ever gotten a light stone from a golem, I don't think. So that might be why.
Let's see. AI bots will now use shift and blink less frequently. So as soon as you fight a bot, it's not going to black spirit.
Yeah.
Like, you could literally, as a Jordan, I could just throw a spear at it, it would black spirit, and then I knew I was good to go in.
Oh, really? Wow,
So,
that's pretty busted, yeah.
That's not a thing anymore. You can't just, like, shoot, you know, a bot with your Hera right mouse button or your Orwin arrow and have them black spirit and then be good. You know, it sounds like the AI is a little bit better. Fixed AI bots to be knocked down for the same amount of time when inflicted with float, specifically. So...
Yeah. I noticed
that was me
as
clicking.
well.
That was me clicking. I did. That was me. Every time it's me, I'm going to try and say it. That was me. Please let me know if it's still doing that. I changed my audio sources, so I'm hoping it's not. But we'll see. Okay, and now AI bots will get more DP gradually as the game goes on, so you don't just like nuke them with one hit at the end game. That's good.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. At the end of the game, bots would just get one shot, so hopefully that's no longer a thing, but yeah.
They still get down pretty quick, but it's not as quick.
Sure, yeah.
Fix an issue where projectiles would sporadically be blocked in the fog. So, I don't know how that happens, but like I guess every now and then it's just like, oh hey, the fog is a monster and it blocked it. It's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, bots will now use their Q and their E less frequently. So they still will use them. I'm guessing it's probably based a little bit more along the lines of like hard CC. So if you're just running up and attacking, they're not going to do it. But if you initiate with a hard CC on a bot, they'll probably do it. Depends on, I don't know. We'll have to do some testing and see what it does.
Yeah, from what I saw about that is, because when I go for a bot and I know it's a bot, I usually go for the same exact combo. It seems like they do use it a bit randomly, but they are like almost guaranteed to use it if they're in danger. So I think maybe if you do like a certain amount of damage or something, I don't know how it's actually calculated, but they still seem to use it pretty frequently, just not as predictable. Possibly still predictable. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, red dragon buff. There's no warning. You can't see it on the map, you can't see it on the compass. There's 0 warning for red dragon, and they're still clicking. What the hell? This is gonna bug the crap out of me. Hang on.
Dang.
There we go.
Cool. What'd you do? You fix it?
I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. I just unplugged my mic and plugged it back in.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
So, oh, nuts. I clicked the thing.
Uh.
All audio's broken?
Wait, what?
What? For real? How? Whoa. Whoa, it really is though. Holy crap.
What?
That's really weird. I don't know why it's doing that. And Rinku's gone. What?
Nice.
He's here, I promise.
I am here.
What on earth? It's like my OBS just completely reset.
What the heck?
Oh, hang on. I know what it was. There we go. Got it. Yeah, my OBS, like, just... I'm gonna have to mess with it after this, because it looks like it, like, almost completely reset.
Jeez, what the heck? Are you using Streamlabs OBS?
I am. Yeah. OBS is,
okay.
like... This is what happens when, you know... I'm just a guy in a home office using free software. I do my best to be professional, but, you know... It's free software in a home office. Yeah, there's it's annoying. I appreciate you guys helping out though, for sure. I'm gonna have to go through and mess with my audio is my biggest weakness. I'm gonna have to go through and mess with that a whole bunch more and see if I can figure out why the hell all of this is just like messing up. So, but Red Dragon buff. You can't tell it's coming, and it's going to RKO you out of nowhere now.
So true. Yep. It's gonna be scary.
We got some new events going on in the game, so let's see. You get an all-day hero pass for one day to try out any and all heroes.
Yep.
So that was me. And you get 3 times silver from solo Team AA matches during the period before August 6th. So basically, if you play the game, you get ×3 silver until August 6th. So make sure to jump in, play the game. You're gonna get 3 times the silver. That's something that I feel like that's been happening pretty much every time there's been a new character, to try to help incentivize people to get into the game, to grind out some silver, to try to get them for free. Eliminates the need, you know, to overtly just go in and swipe your card to get him immediately. You can feel like you can, you know, grind it out a little bit easier.
Yep. Yeah, we have so many silver runs too, so hopefully you guys aren't slacking on the silver.
Okay.
Too much now.
So we've got the AI match difficulty options. Now there's just easy and hard. Hardcore is only in custom mode now. Let's see. So the basic setting, by pressing storage, pulls you to shop storage automatically. It doesn't pull you to, like, whatever your, you know, items that you've sealed in game are. It pulls you immediately to shop storage. Which I think is a good thing, because people, like, would buy stuff on the shop, get it in the mail, receive it, and then wouldn't know where it went.
Yeah, we got that report a lot, so hopefully that fixes that issue.
Let's see. Okay, so this is all a lot of UI stuff. That's a lot of stuff that isn't going to necessarily affect the game as it is. This is just a lot of, like, just kind of change the text in game from guild to clan. You know, that's fine. This is stuff that I'm not going to dive too deep into. I'm not going to be like, holy crap, the text changed. Nah, that's meh. That's okay. Let's check up and see what's next on the agenda. That's the patch notes, guys. That's the patch notes. AMA time is, it's not quite an AMA. It is a Q&A, because there are some topics that are off the table just because Rinku potentially speaks from an official standpoint. We don't want to make sure that he's not, you know, getting himself into trouble with stuff. The next thing we're going to talk about, though, is community events. We had the Duos tournament, the We Are Legends Duos tournament last month. It's been covered a lot by both Pearl Abyss's main channel, and every time I'm live, I show the highlight video. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pull up... I'll just pull the last match from that. And we'll play the highlights from the final match. So you can see here, we had Grandpa Gamers, that was Panucci and Slaith, and then Vero and Spo in second. Only a 5-point difference.
Yeah, that was crazy. That tournament, that whole tournament was so
trying
hard.
to get on top of Kalazka with that Helix, but not able to take advantage here. Kalazka getting the block on a Taco. Taco getting pushed against the wall. There's the knock-up from Soul, but Taco pinned. There's a knockback onto Soul. Lots of damage coming out here from both teams, but Kalazka and Sladra not looking so hot here. Wombo combos from K-Taco, and from Soul in mind, Kalazka and Sladra go down right before the timer hits. He's missed the shield. Fireball hits the tree, but gets Jaxi on the wraparound. Tries to get the lightning, but no, they're getting third-partied by Mime and Doru.
Doru gets kicked down. Nike not looking so hot. Smazing not looking so hot, but Mime taking even more damage. Black Spirit from Mime, lots of damage out here outside the ring. Smazing about to go down to Doru. Smazing does go down to Doru. Nike trying to knock out Doru here. Mime and Doru, ever the opportunistic duo. No, there's the knockdown on Doru as Nike knocks out Doru. Nike takes out the #1 player on the North American solo queue server. Blade Boquest and iFlip in a standoff with the #1 team right now. Panucci and Slaith gets the stab onto Panucci. Big damage onto Panucci. They've got so much damage coming out here. Big 4. Panucci looking very low right now. But hang on, Blade did get charged there. No, Panucci's knocked out. Team Boquest knocked out one half of the leading team. But here's Spo and Vero looking a lot worse for wear. Spo having been revived very, very low here. If they get knocked out of the top 3, that's going to be so dangerous. No, they're in the top 3. They have secured that spot. They may have just secured the tournament here, Rinku. Getting on top of him, but Shomari and Jaxi also trying to come at them in the back. Not effective, though. Shomari just getting blasted away. Spo knocking them down as well. Big knives from Hay onto Shomari. Shomari not looking so good. Shomari goes down. Shomari goes down to Spo. Jaxi's caught. Jaxi's caught. Black Spirit. Let's see what happens here. It's Jaxi versus Vero and Spo. Vero and Spo yet to win a game yet tonight. Always in second place. Let's see if this is their game to win here. Having to back you out here. Hey, still alive in this. His partner, Cujo, is gone. Hey, getting dropped down. Big CC's out. Hey, gets knocked out. Jaxi, all that's left, throws a fireball out in desperation. Flashes out, tries to get it. No, that's it! Spo and Vero! Spo and Vero take the tournament! Awake, Spo and Vero! Taking first, 450 points. Grandpa Gamers in second with 305. Skirmish, Cloud and Kuro in third with 285.
They did what was necessary to take the win this final match, which is insane.
That is absolutely insane, Rinku. These two really showing up, showing out, showing what they are worth here in this competition tonight. And I just gotta say thank you to everybody that came out and played tonight. We appreciate your time, we appreciate your talents, we appreciate your efforts here in supporting not only Shadow Arena, but supporting the community that we've built around this game. It means a lot.
So that was the duos, the end of the duos tournament. Spo and Vero took the duos tournament handily with like 400 and something points. That's bonkers. That was such a close tourney too.
Yeah, man, that was such a good night. Like, there were so many crazy plays that entire tournament. It just kept coming and coming. Like, I don't know. I just had such a fun time doing that, and I cannot wait for more tournaments in the future as well. So
can't wait to do it again. I'm not sure that. I mean, I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I don't know. I don't know. The prize pooler for that was also crazy. That wound up being like $1,700 that got given away over the course of that event, and all of that was raised by the Shadow Arena community as a whole. Like people around the stream that come and hang out, that come and chill and chat, that hang out with us and wanted to put on a good event. That was our thing. That was our shtick. That we did that. That was cool. And we really made it happen there. And I was really proud of that event. That really came out really well. I really hope we can get another one going eventually. We're gonna have to just kind of see what happens. I want to try and get a King of the Hill one going. We just need to get spectate mode in King of the Hill. Then we will be good. But other than that, we did have a because we couldn't do it in King of the Hill mode. We did a solos tournament, 1v1 tournament, not solos, 1v1 tournament a couple weeks ago as well. And in the 1v1 tournament, we had one of our mods, Don Dragon, basically put on a he basically built a Swiss style bracket using all 16 participants in just on like a notebook, or like what was it? It was in like Excel. And we just ran it manually. And I have some clips from that, but that's also going to play into what we've got coming up next. Like I said, every other Friday alternating with these podcasts, we're going to try and have tournaments on this channel. whether it's an actual like solos tournament, duos tournament, King of the Hill 1v1, whether we want to try and come up with a workaround for like a tag tournament. It's pretty much up to you guys and whatever we want to do as a group and as a community here on this channel. So make sure to hit me up with any ideas you have, and we can see what we can do to implement those. So next Friday we'll be having our next one, so that'll be cool. We'll have a tournament next Friday.
Nice.
So, and hopefully I'll be able to like snag the VOD from that and have a couple more clips than what I've got from this one. Fortunately, let's go ahead and take a look. So next we've got the community corner, which is where people typed !Q&A in chat and sent clips that they wanted to get shown on the stream. So whether it was, you know, them beating up on Rinku, them beating up on me, you know, them just performing really well, we've got 3 clips we're going to show. Hopefully before the next podcast we'll have a couple more, but, you know, it's the first one, so we want to make sure that, yeah, it's probably to be expected. There's not necessarily as many, but that's okay. It's okay. 3 clips is plenty. So let me go ahead. I'll pull up here. Oh, hang on.
Let's see him.
Let's see. This is the first one. Oh, okay. This is from our practice tourneys before the duo tourney. Because the submissions are anonymous, I have a feeling I know who submitted this one though. This is this is Taco soloing a duos game. Coming back from the brink. Taco's so low.
Oh my God.
And the Helix.
Wow. Yeah, that was insane.
K-Taco takes it solo. Takes it solo in a duos practice tourney. That's nutty.
I don't know how he made it that far. Like, he just took the whole game. Like, how does that even happen as a solo?
Dude,
It's just taco things, I guess.
just taco things, I guess. That's absolutely bonkers. Good lord. I don't even have words for that. It's just, like you said, Taco doing... Oh! You're in this one, bud. Well, your name is in this one, anyway.
Okay, okay.
So... This was an instance where I got duped. This was an instance where I got duped. I had All's Eye out. There was a putt-putt in the air, and me and Cloud had just finished doing duos, so we were just talking and spitballing on comms and just hanging out and talking. And it was wound up being me, her, and you in the final 3. And there was a putt-putt in the air, and I hadn't heard her like freak out or get excited or do anything, so I just naturally assumed the putt-putt was you.
Alright.
And, hang on, I'm gonna pause the music for... 4 of us left.
Yeah, I remember this. This was, very intense. Like, it's got very sweaty there.
I would straight up bet my mouse pad. That's fucking Rinku.
I'd say, it's probably hard to hear, because, for some reason, again, my audio got kind of janked up. But I say, I bet my mouse pad that is Rinku in the putt-putt. And
Yeah.
Cloud still says I owe her a mouse pad.
I mean, don't you?
Because there were 4 left, but that Schultz was a bot, and he saw me. And he gave me away,
yeah.
so he comes up here and runs around the corner and starts attacking me. And here comes the putt-putt, and I think it's you. But no, it's Cloud. It's Cloud.
Dang.
You just leave me alone, Rinku.
I was at that point probably hiding for my life, like with the putt-putt in there.
and you can I'll post this and check, because you can hear in the background Cloud yelling, like in the background going, "Oh, what's wrong, Noct?" And I'm just like, wait a minute, Cloud! And she just starts laughing like crazy, because it's actually her. She's blowing me up.
Oh my god. Man, yeah. That was intense. After we all three were trying to like fight each other, I didn't know what was going on. Like,
Jeez, this last one is from the 1v1 tourney that we had like a weekend, like 2 weeks ago, I think.
okay, nice.
This is Affect versus iFlip in a 1v1. Schultz versus Yanwa.
It's a good 1v1. All right.
Got Schultz versus Yanwa here. Flip rocking that most excellent Yanwa mastery skin. We're gonna have to see if he can put it to good use here against Affect. Affect playing an extremely strong Schultz. So Flip coming out with a similar strategy as before, but actually gets it. There's the jump attack to continue to knock down Affect. Affect having to Black Spirit, grabs, no, another Black Spirit from Flip. Both Black Spirits are down. Affect not looking so hot here. CC immune though is Affect. There is the headbutt, big roar coming out. Big damage on the Flip. Here's the jump. Flip not looking so hot. He started out with a bang, but now Affect is just rampaging all over. Is he going to be able to come back here? Flip looking just a little bit past half health. Gets picked up by Affect. Tried to go in on a CC immune Affect, but look, big CC coming out.
He's
There's
so
the
low.
jump, there's the roar.
He gets countered out of it.
What? What? What did I just watch?
I'm gonna replay that. I'm gonna replay
Yeah,
that
can
here.
we get a replay
You saw
of the
the
counter?
taco
Wow.
one. You saw the taco one, right? This is the same thing, but done by Flip.
Wow.
No health. He gets foresighted out of the shout, and then Blood Moon.
That's dirty. Oh my god.
Oh.
That's an awesome clip. Wow. It was pretty even the whole. I mean, they kept going back and forth. They both popped Q. Like, wow. That was a good clip. Dang.
Yeah, this face right here is Flip looking at Affect like, you thought.
Wow.
Daggone, that is so insane. That's so cool. But
Showing
guys,
what Yanma can do.
if you guys find any other clips, if you beat down on me, if you beat down on Rinku on his stream, or if you have any clips from you guys streaming, or from beating down on somebody else who's streaming, or any clips of you guys just doing awesome, make sure to type !Q&A in the chat and submit the link to the clip in that form, and your clip might get shown in the next one. Should be dope.
Awesome. Yeah, man, that Yanma play, like, I'm still thinking about that. Like, they just stood up and went for the counter, like, wow. That's all it took.
It was perfect. And actually, moving on from that, we're going to move into the final section of our podcast here tonight, our Q&A. We've got a couple questions that have already been submitted through our Q&A form. Again, !Q&A in chat. It's always open, always available. You can ask questions through that, and then the next podcast we do, we'll try to address as many of those as we can. But the first question we have is actually specifically for Rinku.
Oh man.
So
Right.
this, I'm guessing this is somebody who's newer to the game. So they say it has probably fought you before. It sounds
Alright.
It sounds pretty targeted. But it says, I have a really hard time fighting Tagal. I know Rinku mains Tagal. There's not a lot of Tagal mains out here.
That's true, yeah.
How do I
Not
beat
many of us.
How do I beat his range and CC combos? I main Haru.
Alright. I mean, I don't think I'm an expert, even though there's not a lot of Tagal players. I don't know if like my strategies will work for everyone, right? But just like, I guess if you're playing against me specifically, Tagal has 4 skills, right, that are like pretty useful. And I mean, our third skill we don't even really use unless we have you pinned against a wall, so I don't even use that. So what I would say is like our charge ability that we use to charge, you can easily just bait it out, and then we won't have it for combo. And like, I go for that pretty often where I probably shouldn't. I have some problems with Haru, but it's mainly because they can sneak up on me and get the combo. So I would say if you bait our skills and then go after us, we're a pretty easy target, because I kind of need all my skills to do a combo. Like, if I waste my spin to win, and it's pretty hard to like get you in a combo at all. And if I waste my grab early on, or if you Q out of my grab, then I can't really like come back from that. Yeah, it would be interesting, whoever asks this question, if they play Haru, like if we fought a bunch of times in 1v1s, like I could go over like everything that you could do to get me, and I need to understand Haru's skills more as well. So, but yeah, I think the same thing can go for Schultz too, because I kind of do the same strat with Schultz. Is like if I fight against a Schultz, I bait out their roar so they can't roar at me, because I'm like that will destroy me. So a good Schultz will save it to the right moment, but a bad Schultz will just pop in immediately. And it's kind of the same thing with Tagal. If I spin to win or charge at you and I miss, like it's a long time before I get those skills back. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm not an expert of the game yet, but that's what I've learned so far.
All right, and then the next one is the new hero seems cool, but doesn't seem to have a lot of combos. Do you know any? I guess he's talking about Gorgath.
Oh yeah,
because this got put in last night. This got put in last night. Gorgath, like I was talking about earlier, has 2 kind of ways you can play him. You can either play him in kind of in a mindset of defense or in a mindset of offense. If you're playing offensively, starting with your 3 so that you're having AoE damage around you as you're moving in isn't good, because if you get countered, they're still going to be taking damage as they're hitting you. But if you're able to get your he is Syndra from League. But if you go in and you're able to get like a sprint attack into his right mouse button, you got to remember, and a lot of people that are newer to the game don't realize, that combos are very much reliant on your right click, your inherent ability. They're very dependent on like sprint attacks or jump attacks. Being able to like constantly keep somebody in CC is dependent on using everything in your toolkit, not just your 4 skills. You can't just 1, 2, 3, 4 without mixing in, unless you're Haru. But you can't just like most people, like for just about every class, you can't just 1, 2, 3, 4 and get somebody down from 100 to 0. You know, a new player might come in and see Mime come in and just like absolutely keep somebody in a CC chain with Ahon forever, and be like, how do I do that with my character? Is there any way to do that with Gorgath? You know, going in, sprint attacking, rock lift, rock throw, sprint attack, kick, 2, sprint attack, rock lift, like making sure that you're timing all of that stuff out so that you are taking like an extra step even in between each will give you just the 1 second extra necessary to make sure that your next cooldown's off. And they're still going to be CC'd, and you're going to be able to just juggle them. And that's the offensive strat. The defensive strat is more put up your 3 rocks and kite around the rocks until you get all 3 up. If they are a ranged hero, like a Hera or an Orwin, at that point, I would charge and maybe try to get them to back up into your rocks. If they're a melee hero, like a Schultz or a Jordine, make them come to you and then use your 3, because your 3 is going to make a sandstorm on each rock on top of yours. So they're going to be getting 4 times damage from that. And then you can rock them while they're in the middle of all of your rocks attacking you. So it's really just more, it's a lot of placement if you want to play defensively, and it's a lot of making sure that you're setting yourself up. And then if you want to play offensively, it's making sure that you have the timing right so that each cooldown comes up at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. There's a reason he's got the 4-star difficulty.
Also, just a quick talking point, because it kind of goes back to both of the questions we just answered. I kind of feel like, depending on the matchup, kind of depends on like whether you go like aggressively or like a bit more defensively. Like against Schultz or like Tagal, for example, it's really easy to like bait out their skills and then take advantage of that. Whereas like against an Ahon, you might want to like put a lot of pressure and go in immediately and like not hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder like what fighting Gorgath is like, because Gorgath can kind of do both. Right? Like, would you feel like pressured more of like a melee class, like rushing you, or like a range class kind of like baiting you as Gorgath? Do you think?
I would probably feel. The only time I felt pressured in the last day and a half playing him was fighting another Gorgath.
Yeah. Oh really? Okay.
doing the offensive strat and having the same toolkit that I did. Yeah. And I think that might be just because I'm not even used to fighting him yet. I can play as him, okay, and I'm trying to get better at it. But I'm not used to fighting him yet either, so it's just gonna take time, I think.
We did that Gorgath event, and the first person I found in the event, we just kind of threw rocks at each other. We didn't know how to capitalize on anything, so we kind of just ran away from each other. We both had like full health and didn't like. We tried to combo, but we both were like, nope. Let's keep getting gear and stuff. That was kind of funny.
Mm. Yeah, as soon as you like lift it up and throw your rock, now you're on like a 5 or 6 second cooldown for both abilities, and you're standing there like, what do I do now? Are you gonna come hit me?
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like figuring out how to take advantage in different situations. If you're taking somebody by surprise, offensive. If you're squaring off in the final 2 against somebody, maybe more defensive. Depending on if they're like, if it's like an Orwin or if it's like a Hera, I go more offensive because you want to pressure those people. Or if it's an Ahon, you need to get in close. But if it's a if it's a melee champ, maybe play a little bit more defensive and let them make the mistake of coming in close and getting in your rock combo.
Nice. Yep.
But
Sounds good.
we touched on this a little bit earlier. Is there any game modes you guys may want to see in the future? So we talked on this with Capture the Flag and with Clan v Clan, and we kind of spitballed a little bit about that earlier. But yeah, we with the clan structure in the game, it opens up the door for a lot of really cool stuff. Like we can have there's just a lot of cool stuff we can do, hopefully, with that. So we'll be able to see some I want to see Capture the Flag. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I know you probably are gonna some of these you're probably gonna have to be a little bit more tight-lipped because you're like coming from a little bit more of an official stance, but I think that sounds really cool. The other one is we can't really talk about like balance, bug fix it, any kind of dev questions. There is a couple of those in here. Sorry for the siren in the background too. There's a ambulance across the street from my house. That's not awesome. I hope they're okay. Well, crap. It's not for me this time, guys!
I mean, that's good.
They're coming to take you away. Oh, God.
No.
Yeah, like some of these, like there was one that says winter's weapon skins coming out. Like I don't think we can have an answer for that. Time to kill questions or bug fixes or balance questions or things that we can't necessarily touch on because he's a community manager. He just it's not what you do. But
yeah, I mean, you guys can talk about like what you guys want to see and like what you guys like, and honestly, I would even recommend like going in depth. Like if you guys want a Capture the Flag, like I would maybe like make a post about it in Discord under like the suggestions channel and be like specific of like what would make a Capture the Flag mode good. Like what are the essentials it needs for you guys to like enjoy it, etc. And like, so I can't talk about like what the devs are working on or like what may happen, but you guys can talk about whatever you want, send it to us, and then we might be able to make it happen. So, yeah. I'm sure there'll be tons of awesome stuff in the future.
One sec, I'm seeing an issue with my noise gate. That's weird. Do you guys? I wonder if that's the problem.
Maybe.
Weird.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this issue before, like the
clicking
sound and stuff. Yeah.
All right, so cool. And that's the other question is here. That was me. Any motivation things to keep gamers playing the game, and I think that's really from a community standpoint something that we're trying to do. We're doing this podcast every other week. We're going to be doing these tournaments every other week, trying to motivate people, at least from our stance, at least my stance. Be trying to organize crap, but I'm trying to keep people in the game. From a PA standpoint, like I think it's going to be more like you do your CM events. Maybe I don't know. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hang on. What if you do a CM meet and greet in the sparring arena where all of the CMs go in and just spend like 30 minutes talking to people?
Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down. I'll probably like review the whole stream after this and send it to the devs, and some of them might be watching. But yeah, I mean, we can make CM events, GM events, and all that stuff. So if you guys have ideas for that as well, let us know. And of course, we talked about this a bit on like some of the official streams where I believe the devs are working on different maps and also the free battle pass, which will be coming out. All I can say is soon. So it's new content. I'm sure you guys will know that like there will be new content, but I'm personally excited for all the community stuff. Like I love what Noct has put together, and like I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. And I think the community events honestly is what brings everyone together at the end of the day, because like the game is the game, but it's up to you guys to like enjoy it and like to I don't know, make clans, get clan battles, like that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, just everything in general. There's a lot to look forward to coming up, and the devs are working really hard to fix all the critical issues. Like, finally, the Q and E bug has been hopefully fixed. If you guys continue to have issues with that, of course, let me know immediately. But yeah, we're trying. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to.
And yeah, it's something where it's I think it's to a certain degree to keep people interested. I think being a community is really important. Being a place where people can come and ask questions, can come and get help from experienced players, can, you know, feel like they're a part of something bigger than what they are themselves in, I think is a big part of building and keeping people. Rewards are great and all, but once you get them, people leave. What keeps people is connection. So how do we create connection with a large player base to keep them logging into a game in this format? And I think that's, you know, communication, talking, gathering, holding events, and doing fun things together is a part of that puzzle. I don't have the answer to that question. I don't have the answer to, you know, that problem, but I want to be a part of the solution. So I think we have everybody has a piece of the puzzle. If we all communicate and talk, I think it's something that we can really solve. And the podcast and tournaments every other Friday alternating, I think will be a good step in the right direction. As Rinku said, free battle pass confirmed, coming soon. TM. Soon. Don't forget the TM though. But, also, something to mention is I noticed like a lot of people come into the game and they don't really like I would say like skill is a huge factor for Shadow Arena. Like it is a competitive battle royale with other game modes. So if anyone's like brand new to Shadow Arena, for example, I would highly recommend like watching the content creators, like watching streamers like Noctwolf and everyone that appears on the Shadow Arena category, because honestly, when I first started playing Shadow Arena, I was really bad, like extremely bad. And now I feel like I can kind of hold my own with Tagal. Now you're number 2 on the server in duos.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another story. But like, I mean, I fought people like, there's a few people that I fought and I beat them and they're like, wow, I did not expect CM Rinku to beat me. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm decent now. Like, I can't beat Doru, I can't beat Mime, but I mean, it's a work in progress. Like, I've been playing a lot, and it's honestly because I've been watching your guys' streams, and I've been watching other Tagal players, and I've been playing against them, and I learned combos from you guys, from like the community. So that's honestly the only reason I even can kill anyone is because of you guys. So if there's someone that's new to the game that doesn't understand how like the combos work or how CCs works, or they die immediately, like watch these pro content creators because they know what they're doing and they want to help you get good and get into the game. So that would be my recommendation for that.
Mm-hmm. And make sure that if you're somebody who's experienced in the game, but you're not somebody who's confident telling somebody else or giving advice, and you see somebody asking for it in Discord, just familiarize yourself with the people that have made guides on YouTube. Like Wilk has a great guide series on the basics of the game. The character information is a little bit out of date at this point for anybody's character guides because of how many changes have been implemented since launch. But the basics of the game hasn't changed. And his guides on that are fantastic. And then literally as every new champion has come out, Nixie has made combo guides for every new champion as the day they've released. Like, he'll literally wake up at like 4 a.m., spend 5 hours in the dueling arena messing with the hero, and then get a video out by 5 p.m. Like, it's crazy. So
that is crazy.
Just familiarizing yourself with the content creators that make the guides, so that way the pressure's off you. All you have to do is just be like, here you go. And then it's like, hey, thank you, senpai, for this great advice. When really, you didn't actually have to do anything. You just sent them the video, and then that person gets the views, and you get the credit. So it's all good.
Yep. Yeah, it works out. And I've learned a lot from watching streamers and watching YouTube videos. So it really does help when you watch pro players and see how they play and get advice from them and get the combos down. Like, it's so satisfying as well. So, yep.
All right, so I'll turn it over to chat just real quick. We'll try to take like 2 or 3 Q&A questions from chat, and you know, if you guys have anything you want to bring up or anything last minute that you guys want to throw our way, we'll see if we can answer it and see if we can have enough more, you know, extend the conversation a little bit. We're starting to get close to the 2-hour point on the podcast, so it's you know, a little bit of a lengthy one, but you know, it's okay. I'm having fun, so hope you are. So I'll open up to you guys. If you guys have anything, we'll give you guys a couple minutes to, you know, type out if you guys have any questions. If not, then we're gonna jump into playing some duos. Grab your duo partner. Duos coming up here in a minute, in the moment. But for now, Q&A.